So after that, I don't think we have anything else. So let's get the subtotal. Subtotal, which I want to call A. Subtotal, which I want to call A. Give me the total for the 5,000. 333, this one, this one, this one. $683. 683, 333. The next one. The next one. $10 is 1 million. 16667. The next one. $1350. And the last one. Okay, that's okay, Paris. The last one. 2350. Let's come to the value of ones. Now, I also need to mention this. That for the depreciation, instead of dividing by 16, instead of dealing with it per kilometer, we would also have dealt with it by years, so that we simply divide by 2 and we get a constant figure. We divide by 2 and we get a constant figure. That would also have worked. So let's come to spare parts. So spare parts, it is 20,000 per 1,000. So it will be 20,000 times 5. And this must be 100,000. This other one will be 20,000 times 10. This will be 200,000. 20,000 times 15. This is 300,000. I have 20,000 times 30. This is 600,000. 600,000. Huyo mwingine ni fuel or petrol. Now petrol, we are told it is 25. The average, according to information 2, 1 barrel is going for 25 kilometers. So sasa hapa utachukua 5,000 you divide by 25 times 1900. Give me that figure. 5,000 you divide by 25 times 1900. What do you get? $380,000. Good. Huku kwingine we do the same. 10,000 divided by 25 multiplied by 1900. What do you have? $760,000. 760,000. Huyu mwingine 15,000 divided by 25 multiplied by 1900. 1140. Then 30,000 you divide by 25 multiplied by 1900. 2280. So with that now, we get subtotal, which we will call B. This is 480, and clearly see that. This one is 960. This one is 1440. And this one is 2880. And now give me total costs. Now total costs will be A plus B, and you call it C. A plus B so nitumie hii ya kwanza 683 plus 480 1163 333. Haya, nitumie huyu mwingine then this one plus this one 1976 667 according to Alfred. Rather, I hope you have rectified that. We are taking this plus this. Sasa nipatie this plus this. $27.90. And the last one, 5230. So tunaendelea tu hapo chini. So hapo chini sasa tunaandika cost per kilometer. Cost per kilometer. So we will have fixed. Then I will have variable. And then I will have total. Like now, when I come here, it will be 683, 333, you divide by 5,000. Huyu mwingine utasema 11, na utasema 480,000. You divide by 5,000. Then 1163,000. You divide by 5,000. And that will be the end of our table. That will be the end of our table. So just do that quickly, get your answers. Tukikuja kwa huyu mwingine ni 10, 1, 6, 667 divide by 10,000. Then huyu divide by 10,000. And 1976, 667. You divide by 10,000. So huyu mwingine ni 1350. You divide by 15,000. 1440. You divide by 15,000. 2790. You divide by 15,000. 2350,000. Divide by 30,000. 2880. You divide by 30,000. 5230. So that will be the end of the table. You can use 2 decimals where there are decimals, or whatever decimals you prefer. So when you are through, write the word through or finished. Alfred is through. Radhan is also through. Jamal, Maureen, Simon, Vicky. Habiba, good. Nani hajasema amemaliza? Ni Mohamed. Mohamed ndio tunangoja sasa. Mohamed. Okay, as we wait for Mohamed, we proceed to question 3. Nasema, citing appropriate examples, explain the meaning of the following terms as used in cost classification. The meanings. So, imputed costs refers to what a firm must give up, in order to use a factor of production, for which it already owns. And does not have to pay for it. That is what we call imputed costs. Imputed costs. Now this one, it is also known as notional costs or opportunity costs, Imputed costs refers to what a firm must give up in order to use a factor of production for which it already owns and does not have to pay for it. It is also known as notional cost or opportunity costs. Examples: one, you can talk of using own premises to do business. This is what I was telling you. Nyumba ni yako, the building belongs to you, and you are operating a shop there, or you are doing some business. So at the end of the month, you don't pay yourself rent. So it is something that you already own and you are not paying for it. Another example that I gave you is doing own business, or working in your own business. When you are working in your own business, you don't pay yourself a salary. Every month haujitengenezei payroll, ama unaenda kwa cash unachukua unasema hii ndio mshahara yangu. Yeah. So those are two examples of notional or imputed costs. Is that okay? If you are okay at that point, say my yes, so that I can run. Simon is okay. Yes. Vicky, good. Adam, good. Alfred. Maureen, good. Again, have we finished copying? Mohammed, yes. Habiba, yes. So I think we are okay now. Incremental costs. So incremental costs is cost incurred as a result of producing an additional unit. Incremental cost is the cost incurred as a result of producing an additional unit. It is also known as marginal cost. You can also call it marginal cost. And the examples here, one is direct materials. Materials that can be clearly identified with that. And the second one is direct labor. Direct labor. Direct labor. Those are incremental costs. Okay, let us read the next part. Jane Atieno has developed a new product that she has decided to produce and market. To proceed with the project, Jane will have to quit her present job where she earns 300,000 per month. Jane has found premises to rent for shillings 50,000 per month that will house the production facilities. In addition, she will lease equipment that will be used to manufacture the product at shillings 10,000 per month. Jane had purchased all other required tools 5 years ago for shillings 150,000. Material costs to make the product are estimated at shillings 300 per unit, while monthly advertising costs for the product are estimated at 60,000. You are required to complete the chart below by pressing an X under each heading that helps to identify the costs involved. There can be X's pressed under more than one heading for a single cost. For a single cost. So these costs are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have the costs. The first one is rent for building. The next one is original cost of tools. So let's draw this chart. Number 3 is the equipment list. Then we have materials cost. Number 4, we have, or number next, we have present salary. And the last one is advertising. Advertising. Sasa hizi ndio tunastahili kufungia. Halafu tukuje tuseme opportunity costs. Opportunity costs. Sunk costs. Variable costs. Fixed costs. Prime costs. Conversion costs. Conversion costs. Period costs. And differential costs. Differential costs. Tutengeneza kitu kama hiyo. Maliza kuchora, uniambie finish. So that I proceed. Maliza kuchora, uniambie finish. Simon, finish. Yeah, I can see Alfred is through. Maureen is also through. Key through. Wengine Habiba, sijaona yako. Benjamal. Okay, so let's proceed. Now, first of all, you need to know what is an opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is what you lose. It is what you lose for taking a particular option or for using your own resource. Now, this lady Jane here is already in employment somewhere and she wants to quit to do business. So as a result of quitting to do business, what is she going to lose among these ones? It is just the present salary. So tick that. The present salary is an opportunity cost. Tukuje kwa sunk cost. Sunk cost is a cost that is already incurred, is a historical cost, and you cannot change it. So the cost that is already incurred, ukiangalia kwa that statement inasema Jane had purchased all other required tools for 5 years ago. 5 years ago for 150,000. So the original tools, those ones are sunk. They are already incurred, and there is nothing that can change that. They are already incurred. Variable costs. These are costs that will vary depending on the number of units produced. So rent cannot change as units change, tools cannot, equipment cannot, but materials cost will change. This is a variable cost. Present value salary will not change, and advertising will also not change. Fixed cost. Fixed cost is a cost that will not change as the number of units produced changes. Will not change as the number of units produced changes. So the first one is rent. This one is a fixed cost. Original cost of tools, that is also fixed, will not be changing. The cost of leasing, it will also not be changing, it's fixed. Advertising costs will not be changing, but salary now does not appear here, and materials. But if still you wanted to put salary, no harm. It also remains and is not changing. And also put it there, no harm. Higher prime cost. Prime cost is the sum of the direct costs. Is the sum of direct or variable costs. So the only variable cost to have materials. So that is the only prime cost there. That is the only prime cost. Higher conversion costs. Conversion costs are the cost of changing raw materials to finished goods, or they are normally the labor and overheads. So in this question, we don't have any. In this question, we don't have any. Conversion cost is made up of labor and overheads. So that's hapa hakuna. So hapa hakuna anything. Period costs, they are costs that are payable in that period, and they are not carried forward. They are payable in that period, and you don't carry them forward. Good examples are rent for the building, that's a period cost. And then the lease will also be per month here. Lease will be per month. And then differential costs, these are costs that will be different. They are costs that will be different. They are what we call incremental. So the only different costs will be material. Hiyo ndio itakuwa tu inabadilika. It will just be the one that will be changing. Okay, we are okay with that. Say my yes so that I proceed. Yes, Vicky. Simon is also okay. Alfred is also okay. Jamal, okay. So Abiba Kisha. And Maureen, it is okay. Habiba, good. Let's look at part C for the few minutes remaining. Burok Limited assembles bicycles for sale in the local market. They produce 40-50 bicycles annually. The tires used in these bicycles, 2 for each bicycle, are purchased from an outside supplier at a unit cost of 450. The annual holding cost is 10% of the value per tire, or the cost of making an order from the supplier is 1,000. Now determine the number of the tires that should be ordered in each order if the relevant cost are to be minimum. Now that question is in EOQ. Na tulisema costs are minimum when you buy EOQ. So for you to minimize the costs, you are required to buy or to determine the economic order quantity. So economic order quantity. And maybe you need to say this is the order size. The order size that minimizes relevant costs, relevant material costs, relevant material costs. It is the order quantity that minimizes. It is the quantity you can order at the most economical cost. That's what we think. So this one we know it is computed as EOQ is equals to RS. You divide by CI. You divide by CI. You divide by CI. So remember, R huwa inasimamia annual demand. So annual demand for the tires, we are told that we want to make 40-50 bicycles. And each bicycle requires 2 tires. So multiply that and tell me how many. 40-50 times 2, that is how many tires? It's 100, good. 100 tires. S is fixed cost per order. Fixed cost per order. And this fixed cost per order, as you can see, we are told clearly it is 1,000 shillings. Then C, huwa inasimamia purchase cost per unit. Purchase cost per unit. Per unit. Now, purchase cost per unit or per tire, we are told a tire is going for 450. Alafu tunajua I huwa inasimamia cost of capital. Cost of capital percentage. Cost of capital percentage. Na hapa tumeambiwa ni 10%. Cost of capital percentage, tumeambiwa ni 10%. And thus, EOQ then must be 2 times 8100 times 1,000. You divide this by 10% of 450. Alafu sasa hii yote unatafuta square root. So give me that answer. Give me the answer. Yes, Maureen anasema ni 600. Someone else to confirm. Yes, Alfred. Yes, Vicky. Good. Simon. Good. Yeah, so it is 600 tires. And then tunaulizwa tafute the relevant costs. So hiyo tunaweza ipanga namna hii. Relevant costs. Then we show the formula. And then the amount. Then the amount. So na ile huwa tunaita purchase. And remember, purchase is given as R times C. So hii utasema ni 8100 times 450. Tafutie hiyo. How much? 8100 times 450. 3,645,000. Good, Vicky. 3,645,000. Huyo mwingine huwa tunasema ni ordering. Na ordering huwa inapatikana as R, you divide by Q multiplied by S. R, you divide by Q multiplied by S. So it will be 8100. You divide by 600 times 1,000. It's 100. How much is that? $13,500. Good. You can see the figures coming. Haya, huyo mwingine huwa anaitwa holding costs. Holding. So holding huwa tunasema ni Q out of 2 times CI. So this must be 600. You divide it by 2, multiplied by 450, multiplied by 0.1. It's also 13,500. If I'm not wrong. Okay, and then total, where tunasema ni the sum of the combined. So it is 3645 plus 13500 plus 13500. That is how you shall get it. $3,672,000. 3,672,000. 3,672,000. So we call it a day at that juncture. So that Jamal and Opio and the others, Maureen, we can attend to other issues. Bilba, Vicky, Alfred. Thank you so much. We meet in the next lesson. For those who are day students, Kina Alfred, Vicky, Maureen, Habiba, be joining their morning classes. Be joining their morning classes. Don't miss out, please. Don't miss out, please. All the classes, including economics, if you want, join the classes. Thank you so much. Have a good day. We pick up from there in the next lesson.